everybody. Welcome to a Hello Monday or a Hello Monthly, or in this case, both a Hello Monday and a Hello Monthly. I was doing these last year, sort of towards the end of the year and at the beginning of this year, as a way to share with you at the beginning of the month what I would be doing and maybe like a miscellaneous project that I had laying around. And so I've not done that in a little while. I fell off the wagon, so to say, and I'm back and I want to share with you. So please excuse my voice. I have been very sick for about a week now. I'm on the other side of it. Our household is not on the other side of it, but I am. So I am back. I want to share with you some supplies that I've recently gotten. In one of my videos for my craft series, my craft room series for last month, I talked about how I don't purchase product the way that I once did. And I was curious if anybody would be, interested in how I purchase product now. And I got a lot of comments. I got a lot of questions. And so I have a few things here and we're going to go through them and I'm going to talk about it. So I will do these things maybe first and then we'll do these things. These things are some Amazon purchases. Now, if you have been with me for a while, which many of you have, you know that for about 12 years, I was a full-time Stampin' Up demonstrator. And that meant that I signed up to be a Stampin' Up demonstrator. I already had my YouTube channel. I was already sharing with you guys. I did memory keeping. My friend Wendy Cranford and I started this YouTube channel together 15 years ago. We were two chicks and a cricket. So give me a big shout out if you've been here since two chicks and a cricket. And we did cricket projects and we scrapbooked. We lived 4 hours away. We would do Skype. We would make memory keeping pages and we loved our cricket. My husband got me my first cricket after I had Kayla, who by the way just went to her junior prom this weekend. And we would use that cricket and I did cricket series. Cricket is a die cutting machine. I loved it. And then I found Stampin' Up. I was looking for really good cardstock and really good ink pads. I found Stampin' Up. I started using their product. I eventually signed up and just naturally people started purchasing from me. I never did Stampin' Up. I never signed up with Stampin' Up to do a business. I just naturally, people started purchasing from me and I decided to make it a full-time gig. So I was doing in-person classes, I was doing online classes, I was doing paper parties, I was doing all of the things. And because of that, I was buying a lot of product. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Whenever you're in a direct sales company, a multi-marketing company, you buy a lot of product. That is the customer base. You are signing up and the company is hoping that you buy all of the things to show all of the things and you're purchasing a huge amount of your own sales. And I was purchasing anywhere from $200 a month to, when new catalogs would come out, sometimes $700, $800, $900 a month. So it depended on when a catalog was coming out. I also got an obscene amount of free product because of being a full-time demonstrator. So as you can imagine, I had a lot of stuff coming into my craft room, into my space. Sadly, a lot of it was stuff that didn't get used. Maybe I didn't like it. Maybe I had to get it for a class. There were many times I purchased product to get it for a class because I was designing something. Here's the other thing that happens. When you're designing classes, in-person classes, paper parties, a lot of times what will happen is things will go on back order. I'm sure you've experienced this. Well, if I'm choosing to use, a twine in a class I'm doing, and all of a sudden I wake up and that twine is on back order, I have to pivot and figure out, okay, well now how am I going to replace this in the projects I'm making? In order to do that, it's very helpful if you have a lot of things on hand to choose from. So a lot of times I would get all of the ribbon, all of the embellishments, all of the pattern paper, regardless of whether I liked it or not, because I knew I had to have that on hand for designing purposes. Okay, so now that we're kind of all on the same page as to what I was doing and what was happening, let me share with you what I'm doing now. So I don't buy crafting supplies very often anymore. I've really been on, I hate to use the word journey. That's so ridiculous. I've just been in a space where I've been using a lot of the stuff that I have. Last summer, I did a big purchase of pattern paper from scrapbook.com, and I updated a lot of my scrapbook paper. I also went to the Scrapbook Expo last October, and I got a lot of pattern paper. And since then, I haven't really done a lot. But you find when you're crafting that you need something, or you see something that you like. So let's look at what I've brought into my studio since the beginning of the year. And spoiler alert, it's really not that much. And I will just be upfront and say, I will link everything that I can. I do have an Amazon storefront. I use it so I can organize all the things that I use on a regular basis. You can always purchase from that. You can also always use my Amazon link if you just want to support me as a creator. When you go to purchase something on Amazon, you can go through my storefront and I will get a commission on that, and that's very helpful. I try not to be the creator that's like, click my link, here's a link, here's a link, here's a link, because I personally hate that. I hate watching a video where somebody's constantly like, well, purchase this and use my link, purchase this, use my link. I hate it. So I try not to be that way. I always will be upfront and say, I do have an Amazon storefront. When I left Stampin' Up, I did sign up for some affiliate links, and then I decided very quickly I just didn't want to do that. If you want to support me, I want you to be able to do that by just watching my videos, clicking the like button, leaving me a comment, and then if you really enjoy what I do, I would love for you to sign up for my membership. You do not have to be caught up with your memory keeping to sign up for my membership. There is a $4.99 option that you can sign up for, and you will see just content. You will just see me creating like I do on all of my videos, and you don't have to be caught up. You don't have to be working on something. You can just enjoy the content and support me. Okay, so enough of that. Let's get into what I've purchased. Okay, so these are a few things I've purchased on Amazon. And like I said, I'm not purchasing a ton right now. I purchase when I find I need something. So the first thing that I was looking for, and this happened, I started thinking about this over the holidays. I had wanted some twine, some baker's twine. And yes, I have a handful of baker's twine from past years, but what I really wanted was some thicker baker's twine. This isn't the really thin baker's twine. I really love the thin baker's twine for, like, if I want to put it in like my Project Life album, because it has the pockets. So the thin, not washi tape, but the thin baker's twine works really well in pockets. Thicker, I keep saying washi tape. The thicker twine works really well on regular traditional pages, or if you're doing like a gift bag or something like that, and it works really well on cards. I know you have to send those through the mail, but they tend to work. This tends to work a little bit better if you're making cards. I had started thinking about wanting some during the holidays, and then into the first of the year, I thought I'm just going to look and see what Amazon has. They had this pack. It has black, pink, red, a red green, a green, and a blue. I thought it was a great variety of colors. You know, like the red and green. I definitely will set aside these three. I'll set aside for Christmas. I think they're perfect Christmas colors, so that will be perfect. You get quite a bit. I don't know the prices of a lot of this stuff. You're just gonna have to look at the description below or click on the link to see, because I've purchased this stuff over months. So it's not like I just purchased all this last week and I can remember what the prices are. So these will be great for Christmas. And then I had really wanted a black and white one, and what prompted this was in February when I used the Clementine core kit. It has a black and white element to it, and I had really wanted a thicker black and white baker's twine. So these I feel like are great for just, you know, my everyday things. These would have been great in February. Unfortunately, I didn't get these until after February. I think I got the twine in early March. So those were great. So this was a purchase of just wanting some twine that was a little thicker than what I had. And this is great. There's so much of it. I mean, this will last me years and years and years and years and years. Okay, the next thing, and this was pretty inexpensive. So both of these things here that I'm showing you were pretty inexpensive. I didn't spend a ton of money on them. The next thing is my black and white washi tape. I was very pleasantly surprised to find this on Amazon. It was a set. I think there were 6 of them, and so I think one of these maybe was not in the pack. I think it was maybe that one. I mixed all of my washi tape, like I just put this in my black and white washi tape spot. So I think it was this one that was not in there. But I was very pleasantly surprised. There's quite a bit on a roll. And I've used these a ton already because I used it to put together my Crafty planner / notebook. I used all my black and white washi tape, and I am a fan of washi tape. I use it in a lot of different places, but I like a lot of like neutral. My favorite washi tape that I get is a rainbow washi tape. I use it in my emotional support notebook and my planner every year when I set it up, and I get that off Amazon. But this was a great little pack. So it just was some black and white, and I can use that in a variety of spots. So that was a great find. The next thing that I got was more expensive, and this was a influenced purchase. So I saw a gal on YouTube that was trying these. Oops, my camera will focus in just 1 second. She had got these and had tried them out and was doing a review of them. And it was a purchase that I was like, okay, I'm gonna try that. I'll use this packaging piece. So these are acrylic Sharpie. They're acrylic pens and they're by Sharpie. And there is a brush tip. And then there is a bullet tip. And when I was watching the video, the thing that I thought was you could write on photos with these. And I love the idea of writing on photos. And so I picked them up. These were, I think, a little over $30. I've loved them. And one of the things that's really fun to do is if you have wood veneers, these are great to paint your wood veneers. So it's an acrylic. It's much like the Posca, if you're familiar with like the Posca paint pens. They're very much like that. So you can do like the wood veneers, you can write on photos with them. They're very vibrant. You can write like on black paper. They're just really fun. The colors are, I would say the colors are, you know, unique. They're the bright colors. I hope that they come out with some more colors that are more like maybe like more regal colors, you know, like the, what's it called? The jewel that matches the thing. Jewel tone is the word I'm looking for. But they're really great. I've loved having them and playing around with them. I feel like it was a really nice addition to my crafts, where it's like a kind of a unique item that you pull out for something specific. It's really nice to have them on hand. I don't know how long they will last. It's acrylic, you know, it's like acrylic paint, so it shouldn't dry out. Sharpie, I love Sharpies. I have a lot of different types of Sharpies, and I love the brand. So this was definitely an influenced purchase because I saw the gal do it and I thought, well, there would be so many good uses for this. So that was my other Amazon purchase. Okay, now for some really crafty things. We'll do that envelope last. I have a box here and it is from Concord and Ninth. And this is some dies. And some ink pads. Now the thing with Concord and Ninth is I don't know what the deal is, but their shipping is 1,000 years long. I ordered at the beginning of April. I ordered like April 2nd. I did not even get my package until this last Friday. So, I mean, it took almost a month. I don't know what that situation is about. Every time I order from Concord and Ninth, it takes a long time. I just realized that that's the situation. So the first thing I got was their 6 new colors. So these are the colors. We have Starfruit, which is a bright yellowy green. I love Concord and Ninth. Fun fact, the people who started Concord and Ninth used to work for Stampin' Up. And their ink pads are exactly like Stampin' Up's. They are the foam ink pads and not the felt. So it's very easy for me to use these because I'm familiar with it. Like the Lawn Fawn ink pads are felt and they're a little bit harder for me to use sometimes. I believe it's the Lawn Fawn that I have that are the felt. Okay, and then, so that's Starfruit, and then this is Pimento. Now, the one thing that I do need to start getting from Concord and Ninth is re-inkers because I don't have any re-inkers from Concord and Ninth. I really need to do that. This is Plumberry, a beautiful purple. So they come out with, I don't know if it's every year that they come out with 6 new colors or if it's like a different, like quarterly or every couple years. Much like Stampin' Up comes out with N colors every year. Brickyard. I have made a personal decision not to purchase anything at all from Stampin' Up, and that is a personal decision after something I never really thought I would do. I always thought I would always purchase Stampin' Up product. But I just, for many reasons, I just have decided I'm not supporting that company. I will use what I have. I'm not going to get rid of anything. I think that's really ridiculous to just throw product away that you already purchased it. So throwing it away only harms you. Like, I think it's ridiculous to be like, I'm never going to use anything that I have 15 years of Stampin' Up product and I will use it. But I am really trying to transition to, like, if I want new colors or cardstock, I will get it from Concord and Ninth. I really like them and I like their product. So I got the ink pads, and then these are I think you have to purchase these separate, and I think I just accidentally got 2. I don't think these come with it, so I will add those to my ink pads. I'm really excited about the colors. I think they're really fun. And then I picked up 3 sets of dies. So I picked this one up because it is so cute. I did not pick up any stamp sets because I have a ton of stamp sets. So I felt like I could just get the dies and then I could use the stamp sets I already have on hand. So I picked this one up. This is Berries and let's try that again. Berries, like you eat, and jam, like you eat, dies. And so they're really cute. And Concord and Ninth has really quality stuff. I really like their stuff. So there's that one. The next one I could not resist was, of course, the coffee one. Cup of Kindness dies. Again, I didn't get any stamp set that goes with it. I just got the dies. And I think that's a really good size. And then the last one I got, this is the one that caught my eye that I really wanted to get. And it is this floral piece. And I really wanted to get this for some home decor projects. And so it's just flowers. It does not look like anything special, really. I probably have also some floral dies that could go with this. But this was what I saw on the Concord and 9th website that made me go down the rabbit hole. So I got the dies. Again, no stamp sets. So that was my Concord and 9th small purchase. And like I said, I really love Concord and 9th's their product and their quality. So the last thing that I got, something that I get on a regular monthly basis, is the Ali Edwards Story by the Month kit, scrapbooking kit. And that is just a small kit that I get every single month. I think, in fact, I think this is my April. I mixed everything up when I put it back in here. I think this is my April Stories by the Month, so we'll look at that. So I get that every single month. It's like, I think, $20 a month, and it's just a subscription that I have that I really like. And I just get it and I use it in my personal project life album. Just something that I really use, I really love. And probably the place that I get most new product from is Ali Edwards, because her style and what she does really is what I love. So this is the quarterly scrapbook kit. This year she started doing something different, where instead of having monthly story themed kits, she has a quarterly kit. I decided to go ahead and sign up for it for the first couple kits to see if I liked it. The very first quarterly kit was the what was it? Fun. That was the kit. The theme was fun. This theme is Q&A. So let's look at the paper and vellum first, and then we'll look at all the pieces. So you get, I think, 3 pieces of vellum. There is this one. I like this one. I think Ali did this. I think she painted this and then they turned it into a paper. There's that one. This one I really love, and you're going to see a project in Project Life of me using this one. This one says Q&A. I really love that and have a wonderful idea for that. So that is that. And then there is a striped piece of vellum, and I am a sucker for anything like rainbow striped like that. And then here are the papers, and a lot of Ali's stuff is designed so you can cut it apart and do different things with it. So there's this one. It is double-sided, and this is something she painted and then they turned into paper. So that one. I really like this one. I'll cut it apart and use it. And then there's this on this side, which is her handwriting. There is a striped piece of paper just like the vellum. And then on the back is this. You know, I have a really good idea for this. This just hit me. I've been thinking about something. Okay, so I'm going to use that. Awesome. Okay, then there's this one. I really like this one. I don't so much like this. The red is not my vibe on this, but I really like this. So I'll just cut this up and use it. This is Memories and Ali's handwriting in paint. And then this is a mixed media page she did, and they turned into paper. And then this blue piece, and the back has these half circles. So that's the 12 by 12 paper. Let me just get a little drink of coffee because my throat is dry. Okay, next up is, these are like 6 by 8 paper, but they will go in a 6 by 8 album on the outside of the page if you want them to be. I feel like it's easy enough to say 6 by 8. So here's a question and an answer. These are not double-sided. Then we have What's the Story? A mixed media page. There are years that ask questions and there are years that answer. I really love that. That's in Ellie's handwriting. Interview, Q&A, a pattern piece, sometimes the questions are complicated and the answers are simple. I don't much like that, quite honestly. That's not my vibe. Love this pattern right here. Love this Q&A, and then it has like all these, like, what are you watching? What songs are you playing on repeat? I love that. And then another pattern piece. Love this. And then I really love that. Those were kind of off the... So very cute. I love those. Those will be great. There is a chipboard set. I leave it in the plastic because these tend to pop out really easily. But a chipboard set, that is really cool. A alpha sticker set. And then let's zoom in so we can see some of these fun things. So I'm going to flip through these. These are all 3x4 cards, and I'll just show you what's on them. So coming up this month on Fridays, so on Tuesdays I share Project Life Weekly, and we put together my Project Life album, and then on Fridays I try to share something different. And this last month, in the month of April, I did some organizational stuff every Friday. And coming up this month, in the month of May, I will be doing stamping. So I'm going to show you some really fun ways to add stamping to your memory keeping projects. And I'm not talking about just taking a stamp and making a 3x4 card. I know that's a really easy way to add stamping to your Project Life, you know, projects, but I've never really wanted to do that. Like, I have a million Project Life cards. I don't need to stamp my own. I'm talking about really incorporating your stamps into your memory keeping projects. So that's what I'll be doing on Fridays. There is a set of these Q&As. I also am hoping to bring back my Hello Mondays, where I share a recap of what I did the previous week, what's coming up for the week ahead. And then I also had started sharing my favorites. You know, I would have something that I would really like, and I would just share about it on that Monday. So I hope to be bringing that back as well and getting back into the swing of things. So then there's just a set of these Q&As. So that's the 3x4 cards, which always come in handy. And then there is a set of these like plastic pieces, and they're just Q's and A's and ampersands, which I think are great. And the color palette for this kit is really great. I really like it. I think it'll be really easy to use, and I want to keep everything together. Next are the die cuts, and these are always my favorite. These work great in the Scrappy Spiral Notebook. There's some numbers. These I'll definitely have to put in something else. Memories, there's these hearts, these strips. My story. What 3 things are hard? There's some numbers, questions, hearts, Q&A. I don't know that I'll use these. These really aren't my vibe, but you never know. So I'll keep all of this together to use with the kit. So I'll put that in a little dish and put it on my table. Okay, the last thing that I will share with you is the stories by the month. So these are, it's a small kit, and there is a different theme or color scheme every month, and they're meant to tell your story for that month. I use it in my Project Life personal album. And I am not a real fan of this month's kit. I think it's okay. I will find pieces to use. Like, I really love this. I really love this one. This year's kits, I really love this one. This year's kits have been hit or miss for me. I've really loved a couple of the months. I've really disliked a couple of the months. So last year I loved every single one of them. I signed back up for Stories by the Month after canceling in December and not getting one in January. I signed back up in February, and from February to December I loved every single kit. So, you know, I'm still hanging in there. I'm going to keep getting this kit because I'm doing it in my personal project life album. I love this pivot. If you're a Friends fan like I am, pivot is funny. So yeah, there's enough in this kit that I feel like I can use it. It's just not my favorite. So you get the 3x4 and 4x6 cards. Then you get some vellum. So these are the vellum pieces. And you can cut these up. You can use them over things. I've cut out the month before and used that. Here's this. So I love the gold foiling. And then these are just fun to use. Oh, 5 for month. Hello Sunshine. I love that. This is my happy place. I don't know about anybody else, but this, I cannot use this. Look at how not centered that is. I don't know if that was on purpose. You know, one of Allie's, you know, things that she likes to help you accomplish is not wanting everything to be perfect. And I could see her doing something like this and just being like, be okay with it not being perfectly centered. But for me, I'm not using that. Making lemonade today. This is cute. And then the die cut pack for this month is hearts, which I mean, I love this. I'll totally use these. These are amazing. Love them. All the different heart shapes. And then a chipboard set. I will use that. And then a little tab set. So these are fun. They're stickers and you can make tabs. And so that is the Stories by the Month for the month of May. And you get in advance. Like I got this in, or is this April? Is this April or May? This is May, yeah. And I got this kit in April. So you get it like the month before. So those are my crafty purchases in the last few, I would say the last couple months, and sort of how I do it now. I just purchase things either when I need something specific, like I have an idea and I want some twine, or I see something that really catches my eye and I want to try it out. And then of course my Allie Edwards product I get every month. My question to you, if you've hung out with me this whole video, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. My question to you is, would you like me to share things like this or do reviews like this? I can do them on Mondays when I do my Hello Monday posts, and to say, hey, I tried this out. You know, I purchased it. Here's how it works. Here's what I think about it. Here's a link. If that's something that you guys are interested in, I will happily do it. I just don't want to become... I was going to say something, I don't know, that's probably not the best word to use. I just don't want to become the person that is click my link, click my link, click my link. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to share creativity with you and to inspire you to tell your stories and to do memory keeping and to get creative and to find product that you love and that you are excited to purchase. I don't want you just purchasing things because I show them and I'm like, buy this to support me. I want you to be like, wow, that looks really fun and interesting and I would love to try that. So let me know in the comments below. I will be back tomorrow with a Project Life video, and then we will kick off Friday with our very first stamping project. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and I will be back tomorrow to hang out with you some more. Have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for checking out my video. Here on the screen are 2 other videos that you can check out if you would like. If you're a member watching this video and you've missed any of the member videos or you're new, you can go back and watch older member videos if you would like. Thank you so much for checking out my video, and I will catch you in my very next project.